A boy who grew up in a pawn shop, a teenage girl who crossed the Atlantic with nothing but 100 songbooks and a borrowed blessing. And an army that fights its battles not with weapons, but with soup, shelter, and an unconditional yes. Stay until the end, because this story started on April 10, 1829, and it has not stopped for a single day since. William Booth was born in Nottingham, England on April 10, 1829. From his earliest years, he was no stranger to poverty. He was just 14 when his father died, and already working as a pawnbroker's apprentice to help support his family. Standing behind that pawn shop counter day after day, he watches desperate people come in with the last things they own. A wedding ring, a coat, a child's toy, trading away pieces of their lives just to survive another week. At 15, he attends chapel and is immediately drawn to its message. He writes in his diary, "God shall have all there is of William Booth." That is not the journal entry of a boy who plans to sit quietly in a pew. By 1865, Booth had tried the traditional church. He has tried the Methodist circuit. He has preached in tents, in open fields, in doorways. And every time he brings the people nobody else wants, the drunks and the gamblers and the street workers, the churches turn them away. So he stops trying to bring the people to the church. He takes the gospel directly to the people. Walking the streets of London, he preaches to the poor, the homeless, the hungry, and the destitute. East London in the 1860s is, in the words of one writer, a squalid labyrinth with 500,000 people crammed 290 to the acre. Every fifth house is a gin shop. After seeing those streets for the first time, Booth tells his wife Catherine, "I seem to hear a voice sounding in my ears. Where can you go and find such heathen as these, and where is there so great a need for your labors?" The work is hard. Booth stumbles home night after night, haggard with fatigue. Often his clothes are torn, and bloody bandages swathed his head where a stone had struck, his wife later writes. Evening meetings are held in an old warehouse where urchins throw stones and fireworks through the window, but he does not stop. Thieves, prostitutes, gamblers, and drunkards are among his first converts, and soon those converts are also preaching and singing in the streets, living testimonies to the power of change. Then one day in 1878, Booth was reading a printer's proof of his organization's annual report. He notices it calls his mission a volunteer army. He crosses out the words and pens in two new ones, Salvation Army. A name is born, and with it, an unstoppable idea. Now here is where the story gets even better. A young woman named Eliza Shirley works in the coal mining town of Bishop Auckland, England, as a Salvation Army lieutenant. Early in 1879, she received a letter from her father telling her he had found work in America and suggesting she bring the Salvation Army to American soil. "You have no idea," he writes, "of the great numbers of people here who never go to church." With characteristic boldness, Eliza approaches General Booth. He is not sure America is ready and at first resists her proposal. Finally, he gives his blessing and tells her that if she keeps to Army principles and enjoys some success, he will send reinforcements later. Traveling with her mother and 100 penny songbooks, Eliza sets sail for Philadelphia in September 1879. She is 17 years old. Upon arrival in Philadelphia, the crowds often throw mud, stones, and vegetables. Their first meeting drew only 12 people. A month later, the lot where they hold their meetings catches fire, and Eliza Shirley, 17 years old, alone in a strange country, looks at the flames drawing a crowd and starts to sing. Within a month of their arrival, they rent a building and begin holding church services with a specific focus on helping the poor, and the work begins to grow. Eliza writes back to General Booth, begging for reinforcements. And in 1880, Commissioner George Scott Railton and 7 young women officers, nicknamed the Hallelujah Lassies, kneel on the dockside at Battery Park in New York City to give thanks for their safe arrival. America's Salvation Army has begun. Here is what a pawnbroker's apprentice with a bleeding head and 100 songbooks on a ship eventually becomes. In 2024 alone, the Salvation Army helped nearly 28 million people in the United States overcome poverty, addiction, and economic hardship. Nearly 167 million meals were served to those who needed them most. Today, the Salvation Army serves in 134 countries around the world. 134 countries, all of it traced back to one man standing on a street corner in East London and one teenage girl singing into a fire in Philadelphia. William Booth once said, "While women weep as they do now, I'll fight. While little children go hungry, I'll fight. While there is a drunkard left, while there is a poor lost girl upon the streets, I'll fight. I'll fight to the very end." He kept that promise, and so does his army. And here is what I want you to carry with you today. William Booth grew up watching people trade away everything they had just to survive. Eliza Shirley crossed an ocean at 17 with nothing but songbooks and a borrowed blessing. Neither of them waited until they were ready. Neither of them waited until conditions were perfect. They just showed up. For people nobody else was showing up for, I have a question that only you can answer. Think about the people in your own family who showed up like that. The grandparent who fed strangers during hard times. The parent who kept the door open when everyone else closed theirs. The neighbor whose name you still say with a catch in your voice because of what they did for your family when it mattered most. Those stories are not small. They are the stories that make a life worth something, and they deserve to be written down. Have you ever thought about leaving your family's story for the people who come after you? Not because you are famous or important by the world's measure, but because you are the only one who remembers what you remember? The acts of quiet courage, the moments of stubborn kindness, the times someone in your family said yes when everyone else said no. Those stories will disappear if you do not capture them, and the people who love you will spend the rest of their lives wishing they had asked you when they had the chance. You are sitting on a legacy that no charity can give and no history book can record. Only you hold it. Only you can pass it on. If history like this stirs something alive in you, then you have found your people. Every single day, we bring you a moment from the past that speaks directly to the life you are living right now. Join a community of people who believe that every story matters, including yours. Hit that subscribe button and be here with us every single day. New spark every day, right here. We will see you tomorrow. Every life holds a story worth sparking. See you tomorrow.